Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing a spectacular 2023 limited edition of 30 pieces in blued grade 5 titanium. This is the Kudoke 2 Starry Night. Technically, this is Grail Watch 8, the 8th watch from a new business venture created by Rake and Revolution magazine founder Wei Ko. He'd already been doing branded Rake and Revo co-branded editions for long enough that it became evident some sort of new venture was required to make this kind of collaboration more routine, systematic, and raise the game in terms of how extensively base models could be customized. And thus, Grail Watch was born, and this is the 8th fruit of that labor. So the timepiece is nicely sized at 39 millimeters in diameter in titanium with sapphire caseback and sapphire crystal. It's very light. It's only 12.5 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 45.9 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. When I throw the watch on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference, you can see that it is very compact. The lug's well inboard of my wrist on each side, so I could recommend this for him or for her, really. It'll fit underneath the cuff. It would wear well on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, and you can see how much lug clearance I have on each side, as well as over the top, which frankly exaggerates the width of the watch. The strap is lovely. If you love cars, you already know about Alcantara, a synthetic suede that is more expensive than real leather. It's used in the touch points of race cars or high-performance road cars. It's also usually an option headliner on S-Class and 7 Series type cars, and standard on things from Rolls-Royce and Bentley. So a very upscale velvety material, long-wearing and durable. We also have a contrasting blue stitch in here, and as you can see, shear-cut edges showing the layers of material with a calfskin on the bottom, and the strap, like the watch, made by hand in Germany. We have pull-tab spring bars, so you can quickly and easily pop the strap off of the case using only your fingernail. We have a Kudoke branded pin buckle, which can be removed easily using a strap tool, and you can see it features satination on all facets. Now, the case is not PVD blue, it is CVD blue, chemical vapor deposition, whereas PVD tends to be a line of sight application method. CVD, which is fully gaseous, can wrap around and evenly coat complex forms, so it envelops rather than operates on a line of sight basis. As a result, very bright, colorful, and vivid applications can be made evenly around a surface like a bezel or a crown or a case. That's how this even electric blue coating is applied. And you'll recognize both the color and the method CVD from a lot of recent Chrono Swiss timepieces. Well, this is the exact same technique and material used to gain that incredible finish on the Chrono Swiss. And here you can see it features both satin and polished lug hoods, integrated lugs. They come to tapered points at their end. The bezel features 1, 2, 3 stepped flanges. We have a Kudoke branded media blasted and polished onion style crown, push down crown, and the watch is 50 meters water resistant. We have a very slightly domed and boxed sapphire over a dial with a lovely twisting vortex guilloche, and that's how it's described, twisting vortex radiating out from the center. Stefan Kudoke started making watches back in 2008, and they were best described as idiosyncratic, beautifully made, but also extremely rococo, with engraving and microsculpting that was somewhat polarizing. It was with the arrival of the Kudoke 1 and then in 2019 the Kudoke 2 that he really became a mainstream watchmaker in the independent space, known equally for artistry and good value, and you definitely have that here. He hasn't moved completely away from his bread and butter of hand engraving, as we have this day-night disc up at the top that has been freehand engraved, so no two will be exactly alike. We have infinity-styled hands designed to look hour and minute hand like a Mobius strip, and then you can see the emblem again up at the top. There's a 24-hour indicator, so you know, for example, whether you're looking at day or night. The lume on this watch is spectacular, and you can see that it encompasses not just the chaptering and not just the hands, but also that day-night indicator And you can see where the day-night indicator is actually pointing because there's a little triangular index inside of it that is green luminova compared to the blue of the rest. So now you can see that I am right at 12 midnight because that little green index is pointing to 24, and now it is 15 minutes past midnight. That's what you're looking at right there. So you have 24-hour distinction courtesy of that little 24-hour wheel. Now flipping it over, I should first mention before we jump to the back that this is the Starry Night, inspired directly by the Vincent van Gogh painting of the same name. And you can see it draws heavily on the same type of imagery as well as color scheme. The palettes of the painting and the watch are very similar. Kudoke's finish is second to none. You can see even the Kudoke badge on the dial has been beveled on its side, beautifully polished on its flanks, satinated across its top. Flipping it over, we have the caliber K1-24. Now, there's a long history behind this movement. It dates back to the old Venus company, which was purchased by Valjoux. One of the Venus calibers was converted to automatic winding and turned into the 7750. The 7750 was then stripped down of its chronograph and automatic winding components to become the Habring A11. And the Habring A11 lends its basic platform, and I mean very basic, including only a handful of parts, to this Kudoke K1-24. Most of the parts here are made and finished by Stefan Kudoke, but as a result of its 7750 origins, it has a nice large 30mm size to fill out the case back. It's got a 4 Hz beat rate, and though it doesn't have a seconds hand, it retains the underlying mechanism's hacking seconds function. And it's a 46-hour power reserve. You can see that it is beautifully decorated with bridges gilded gold and then frosted using a combination of an oil rub with glass or sand in it. You could appreciate that the beveling, where it's visible, is mirrored, rounded, and finished by hand. We have both black polished and fire blued screws. We have double solarization on the ratchet wheel, satination, and brushing on both the crown wheel and crown wheel core. You can see that the screws that are blue are fired to get them that way. We have a little hand-engraved Kudoke nameplate, satinated on its tops, beveled on its edges, and freehand engraved with a burren. We have a satinated and beveled click. It is a great-looking movement. Again, a 46-hour power reserve with a nice large 30mm size to fit the case back. The balance cock, which is gold gilded, has been freehand engraved. You have the little Mobius strip infinity symbol. Then if you look carefully on the side of the Mobius strip facing the balance, we've also got a little star custom engraved in there that is unique to this model. Beautifully finished, easy to wear, memorable, colorful, cheerful, and hailing from one of the premier independents of our time. This is the Kudoke 2 Starry Night. And although we often talk about beauty, we don't often talk about accuracy or precision. So you'll be happy to know that this watch is adjusted in 5 positions by Stefan Kudoke. And when you get the watch, you also get the handwritten timing card that he graded out before delivering your watch. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.